Right team, let's give the G63 a cold start. Hey folks, Matty231 here with a cool car today, the G63 AMG G-Wagon 2017. Again, it's a car that I've hired as part of the car sharing group I'm part of called Motorshare here in New Zealand, and I thought I'd just give you a quick look at it and just look at some of the cool features of it, I guess, as a G-Wagon. There's plenty of videos showing you the G-Wagon already, driving it and things. I'm just going to go over some of the more technical side, like we focus on with the channel when we do repairs and things like that. Obviously, we're not going to touch this car. We're just going to have a bit of a look. So this one's the model before the current version. It's not the latest G-Wagon. It's in a lovely blue color. I'm not actually sure what it is, but it's like a nice metallic blue, very well put together. It's got Designo floor mats, which is quite cool. I'm going to give it a quick vacuum actually. Designo floor mats and a Designo interior, which I believe is the seats here, the leather on the seats. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is part of the Designo package for this car. Everything else is just your standard sort of black interior from Mercedes. It does have beautiful carbon fiber, glossy carbon fiber trim everywhere throughout the car as well. But it's really cool to see the leather inlays having this sort of cool carbon fiber pattern on the leather itself. And you've got this nice diamond stitching, these lovely AMG plates that light up really brightly at night. Even your little door catch here, like look at that, beautiful metal, solid, good quality. But yeah, some of the cool things that I've noticed in the car, obviously you've got your electronic diff locks, and you've also got low range, which you don't find pretty much on any other Mercedes apart from I think some GL and ML cars have the option for like the off-road package where you can get that, but otherwise this car comes factory with 3 diff locks. So yeah, this is the old version where you've still got that ladder chassis set up, whereas the new model's a lot more, I think it's based on a unibody design. But yeah, looking at it, it's very nicely put together. Rear seat heaters. I'm actually surprised it's quite a cramped back seat. Like you actually wouldn't want to ride in here. Maybe if you've got young kids it'll be alright, but other than that it's actually really tight in the back here. But yeah, you've got these interesting doors. I actually sort of don't know how these work specifically, but you can see, I believe those might be the doors. As you close them, they latch onto these little hooks here, and it gives it that really metallic closing sort of sound. But to open the door, obviously you've got to push that button in there, which I believe probably this, yeah, unlocks that there like that. You've got nice carbon fiber, real solid metal running boards on the side here. Obviously, as an off-roader, this is probably a bit dangerous with the AMG exhaust tips sticking out the bottom quite far. But in saying that, the rest of the exhaust you can see still gives you plenty of ground clearance, which is good. Massive brakes, same brakes you find on the E63. Probably the C63s as well. They've got a solid rear axle. You can see a solid rear axle there with the with your ladder frame design. You can see the sort of the 2 main rails of the frame going down the middle there, and you can see the 2 exhausts. Where I can zoom in here. You can see right at the back there's that catalytic converter by the looks of it. Then you got your resonator, then you got your exhaust here, and I imagine it runs off of each bank respectively. You've got your drive shaft, and you got your transfer case, which will also deliver power to the front axle, which is also an actual solid axle as well. Whereas I believe the new cars, someone correct me if I'm wrong, I believe they are a independent suspension. Obviously you've got a conventional design here with the ladder chassis. Cool, so under the hood, just while we're here at the front, you've still got good old glass headlights with a fixed xenon beam, and you've also got your high beam as well built into that unit. And this car's got Distronic, so your Distronic sensors there instead of in the logo like most Mercedes have, which is quite interesting. I don't know if these are factory or not, but tinted indicator lamps. And yeah, the paint job is just magnificent, like the real nice metallic blue paint. And then these are metal. It seems like in America you get, they come built in with a front bull bar or nudge bar as we call it here. But yeah, nice solid high quality design. Still plastic grille, which is normal. You've got your headlight washers integrated there and your DRL running lamps as well. And there's this metal, oh it is. Wow, that's cool. So you've got a full metal factory dash plate with nice torque screws, probably stainless steel. Yeah, it's real cool. And then you've got obviously the magnificent M157 engine up here. Mounted quite high when you look at it. Like the engine's quite high up. It's probably, yeah, most cars you'd be sort of touching it down here. And this one is quite high. It still handles really well for a conventional, you know, frame and body system with a high center of gravity of the engine placement. Everything else is a little unconventionally positioned. You know, you've got steering, your brake ABS unit there. You've obviously got your coolant system, brake booster. That'll likely be for the window wipers, which are also really cool, just sort of classic, you know, 70s G-Wagon wipers. And then you've got, yeah, different vacuum lines and stuff, which are all obviously prone to break over time, but this car's only done 30,000 K, so it's really nice and well looked after. There's no leaking of the, if you look down there, you've got your thermostat. Commonly, these lines here can crack and leak fluid, but this one looks to be in perfect condition, especially because it's so new still. But yeah, real great combination all around. Look at that gas strut. One big gas strut for the hood. And then obviously in the back here, it looks like it contains all your air conditioning systems, I guess, and everything between the firewall. Different, again, different, quite a unique sort of design there. Again, can't touch much because it's not my car, but gives you a bit of an idea how that all comes together. Let's have a look underneath as well. Oh yeah, so you got like a, would you call that a sway bar? I'm not as familiar with ladder frame vehicles and live axles and things. I'm sort of less up to speed with how they work, but the gist of it's there. Yes, so you can see the oil pan for the engine. Actually, that'll be the gearbox, the 7-speed MCT, and the big front diff there. And the locking mechanism, I wonder where the locking mechanism is. It's quite hard to see through here. Interesting. There's your steering servo there. I can't remember what they call it, but it's not a conventional rack and pinion. BMW E39s used to have it. I used to see it on some other channels I watch. But basically this here controls your steering. It connects to this rod, and then this rod connects to the other side over there on the other knuckle on the hub. So it's definitely an old school steering system, but it works really well. And actually there's your oil drain plug for the M157. You could literally do an oil change on this without even lifting it. You could just jump underneath and probably crack the drain off. There's your downpipe for the exhaust. But yeah, very cool car overall. Nice suede headliner. I guess you'd expect that when you're spending $300,000 or $200,000, I think it is in the US. But yeah, overall my opinion, awesome car. Would I buy one? No. I definitely enjoyed having it for the last few days, but I wouldn't buy one. I'd probably, if I was going to buy a G-Wagon, I'd buy a G400D. I'd buy the diesel version. I just don't personally see the real need for a V8 AMG. Yes, it's flippin' cool, and I respect anyone who wants to buy one, but after driving one myself and wanting to have one, I'd say I'd have a G400D, and then I'd buy like a C63 or an E63, or I'd even just buy a GLE63. If you haven't seen on my channel already, I did some work on an M157 GLE63 a while ago, and I actually enjoyed that car, even though it's a lot more, blends in a lot more, well, to an extent. I enjoyed that car more than the G63 here, just as a daily. But yeah, this thing turns head, this thing gets people's attention, people say it's flippin' cool, and that's awesome. But as for a daily, yeah, that's my preference. But hey, each to their own. I do have a weird taste in cars after all. If you'd like to learn more about it, or you'd like to join that Motorshare group I was talking about, flick me a message and I can get you a special deal. Thanks, team.